y'all, and welcome back. In my last video where I did an unedited get ready with me type video, I got really great response from you guys saying you guys liked it, or many of you said you preferred it being unedited just to kind of see how the look comes together without any editing. So we're gonna do another video, and we're going to be using, oh wait, before I do that I have to explain, my hands are not dirty, they're just stained. I dyed some hair today and didn't wear gloves because I didn't. But anyway, just want to explain that so you don't think that like my hands are extremely dirty. They're just stained and it'll come out eventually. It's already a lot lighter. This one was like mostly black earlier. But anyway, we are going to be using the Cosmic Brushes Delicious Delights palette because I picked this up right when it launched because I was so excited to get it and to do a video on it. And then life happened and I haven't been able to post a video. So we're just going to be super tardy over here and create a look with it. And I'm excited, even though, like I said, I don't think this was limited edition, but I feel like it's been a couple months since it came out because it's been a little while. But I want to play with it, and I think I know, I was trying to think before I click record. Oh, I think I'm going to do purple in the outer corner for the deepest and then focus blue on the outer half, bringing over into this green and the super light, maybe a little lime green on the inner half, and probably put this hot pink because it's a multi-chrome that goes to like a green gold. Probably gonna put that one on the lid because that sounds like fun. So that is my plan. I forgot to go ahead and prime my eyes, so I'm gonna have to do it while we chat. But yeah, the video went over really well. The new Nomad palette is where I did an unedited video, and literally I had to crop, you know, like the beginning and ending out just to put my intro and outro in, and then I had to crop another part when I talk so much, nobody's surprised, but my camera stopped recording, so I had to just edit that little part. But besides that, I didn't do anything else with it, and I was able to do a pretty quick turnaround and get the video up a day later than I had hoped. But I got it up pretty quick, and like I said, I had a really good response of people saying that they're totally fine with these type of videos, even if they're a little bit longer and not so quick and to the point, because I can't, you know, edit out. I usually like to do one eye on camera and then edit it out, or if I'm just not talking, I'll edit that part out, do my mascara and stuff. So I got a pretty good response from it, so we're doing it again because I was really encouraged. Honestly, I thought that was really sweet of y'all, so I feel like sitting down again today. Everyone is going down for naps, so gotta take the opportunities as they come. I'm going into Charms. I thought it was Charmed. But Charms, I'm going to take this Singe Beauty E04 brush. And it is a delightful little packer brush. I really like the Singe Beauty brushes that Angelica Nyquist came out with. They're really, really nice. Nice, long, skinny. I just like the shape and how I hold them in my hands is really comfortable. And then the bristles themselves are just lovely. I really do like them. So just pack it on like that. I'm not going to really focus on making sure the purple stands out because I do want to take blue over top of it, but I just want to make sure it's nice and dark. So we're going to go over, I feel like I watched maybe 1 or 2 videos on this palette right when it came out, and then life just got busy and I didn't watch anything else. You'll have to let me know how this palette was received. Did you pick it up? It's been forever, so if you did pick it up, I'm sure you have it already. You'll have to let me know how you like it. I played with it a couple times, probably maybe 3 times off camera, and I really enjoyed it. It's been a nice palette. I haven't played around with the shimmers too much, so I can't really say like how they hold up with the Florida summers, so not really much help there. But I've been playing with the mattes or just on days when I'm inside all the time. Oop, I don't know what that is. And they've been holding up really, really nicely. Okay, now I'm going to go into Slushy, that blue right there. Okay, so I'm going to have to make an edit there because one of my children came in just now and then I had to go out with them, so I'm going to cut that part. So I'll do a little bit of editing here. But anyway, I want to take that Slushy, the darkest blue, and we're going to pack it on top, mostly focusing around the edges to deepen this up. And like I said, I don't mind if I take away some of that purpliness to this shade because I don't know, I'm not really wanting to focus on the purple, but I definitely wanted it dark, so I'm going over top just like this. Hopefully my microphone's in a good position. I forgot it's behind my my mirror there. So anyway, I do not remember what I was talking about when my son came in. So yeah, a couple of you guys had said you enjoyed hearing about the farm life And the pigs, they've been a lot of fun. As I said, they were kind of a surprise because we knew she was probably pregnant. I mean, she was living with our male pig, so we were like, at some point, they're gonna be pregnant, unless I suppose they have fertility issues. But anyway, we knew they were gonna have babies at some point, and I'd been watching her belly. She was definitely getting larger, but she wasn't super, super large, so I thought it would still be like another month or 3 weeks. I thought we were getting close, but we weren't that close. So when I went out on my birthday to feed him and only our male pig, Bullet, came up, I was like, oh dear. And so I went to her, and she wasn't even doing, because I'd read a little bit of like what to expect when they're getting close, and a lot of people talk about how the pig will be nesting, they'll lay down a lot because they're having like contractions and stuff like that. And maybe this is, you know, I didn't notice it because she obviously contracted and started labor mostly at night, in the middle of the night. And when I came out around 8 that morning, she was like halfway through delivering. So maybe that's why I didn't notice, but she wasn't very like nesting or anything the day before, or just like laying around at all. They were laying around a little bit, but it's not uncommon for them to just in general be laying around in the heat of the day because it's so hot. So I suppose when I saw her in the wallow a lot those last couple days, I was just like, yeah, it's hot. But and she's also a first-time mom, so maybe that's why she didn't do a whole lot of like nesting and kind of getting her area all set up that she wanted to give birth in. But yeah, she surprised us, and so it was like go time. We separated Bullet, had to put him somewhere else, and then I had to kind of section off the area we had them in because they were just out in a big field, and I wanted them to have a smaller area to kind of have for the first month or so, just while the babies are, you know, getting used to things and whatnot. So I had to do all that, but that was a lot of fun. Pigs are pretty cute. I feel like pigs are the, I'm gonna go into ice pop right here, but pigs are the animal that I never would have thought I owned, because growing up, pigs never interested me. Like, I don't know, I kind of just thought they were ugly, honestly. But coonies have a little bit of cuteness to them, and then they have a really cute personality, and I've really enjoyed having them. And yeah, it's really changed my mind about pigs since we got them. We got them mostly with the intent of just having them on the homestead, being able to eventually grow out their children that they have for our own consumption. So I thought it was a good, and they're also smaller animals, so that's easier too, with just us being beginners here in raising our own food and stuff, just to not jump right in with a cow or something that's large. Pigs are smaller. And coonies are a more gentle, docile, kind of like that pet breed. So I was more comfortable with them around the children, because I've heard some horror stories about like bigger pigs and how rough they can be, or mean, or just how big they are so that they can overpower you, that type of thing. So I was really only comfortable doing pigs with going with the smaller breed of coonies that are just more of that gentle, very personable. I mean, maybe other pigs are personable like that, but the coonies are very, like, anytime we come out, they love to just run up. Our mama pig isn't as, like, overly friendly and lovey-dovey as our male is, but our male, Bullet, he is just all about any attention you will give him. If you start scratching his side, or like, you know, giving him a little, I don't know, a little scratch, a little rub down like you would a dog, he will flop over on his side and just let you scratch his belly and his side, and he will lay there for as long as you will stay there. Like, he will not get up and leave until you finally do, and they'll be like, okay, I guess we're done. But he loves all the attention. So we've been really happy with the coonies that we've bought to start on our little homestead. They've been really great, and they're generally really great with the kids. We do tend to I tend to like to feed them before the kids get in, just so A, they have food that they're eating so the kids can kind of pet them, but B, my son would want to like throw the food out to them, but if you're not fast enough, like, they're just wanting to eat something, so they'll like go for the bucket if they're not like dumping it out fast enough, and they'll want to eat the bucket. And one time I think it was Bullet, one of the pigs, got like the tip of his finger because of how he was doing it, one of my son's fingers, and that didn't end well. He was not a fan. So ever since then, we feed them, and then we let the kids spend the most time kind of in there when they're eating, and then afterwards when they're done eating, we'll let them hang out, and they're, you know, pretty chill once they got a full belly. But beforehand, they like their food. So if you got their food and they know you do, they're like, hey, where's my food? They're all business and play afterwards. So anyway, these three are going on really nicely. I like how that looks. Very, very pretty, very nice blend. The three colors, I feel like you can still see the three colors, but not in like a bad way, like they're not blending, but you can just see that progression from the purple up into the kind of brighter blue and then into the softer blue. Obviously this side, per usual, doesn't get as much love because I just don't give it the love I should, but oh well. It's on this side. You always gotta have a bad eye. But anyway, the Coonies have been a great breed. I've heard them compared to, I think the Idaho pasture pig is kind of another breed, smaller breed of pig that a lot of people, homesteaders will raise because they're a little bit more gentler, they're smaller, better for kids and stuff like that. But I've really been enjoying the Coonies. They're super cute, and they've just been great to raise and have around, and they've been, like I said, a little bit easier than like jumping into a big animal like a cow or something. So anyway, piggies have been so cute. There's 4 girls, as I think I already said in the last video. But 4 girls, we didn't have any boys. I thought that was the weirdest thing because I thought for sure you're always gonna have boys. I feel like, especially, you know, since there's so many pigs in a litter, what's the odds? But she only had 4, a bit of a small litter for her, but it's her first one, so not uncommon. And then they were all girls, so there was that. We have all girls. Let's see, I'm gonna go into Lollipop just a little bit, and then I'll probably use, I don't know, I feel like I wanna go to Zesty just because it's my type of shade, but we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, we got 4 little girls. They're all doing great. Thankfully, there were no issues with the delivery. Obviously, she did it all on her own. We were there for, I discovered her just after she had her 3rd one, and then amid all the moving and around and checking on her, she had her 4th one. So she had them all without any problems, and thankfully no issues with them. She's been a great mama. I was a little worried because the house and shelter that she decided to give birth in wasn't one I wanted her to like raise them in, just because it's a bit smaller and more cramped, and it's just not as nice of a shelter as a different house we have on in their pasture. So I ended up deciding when she looked to be done nursing, I wanted to move her. And it was also the shelter that she gave birth in was like in direct sunlight, and the other house, pig house we have, is like underneath a big oak tree, so it's nice and shaded. So I really wanted to move her, and I felt really nervous doing it because I've heard so many horror stories about, you know, you messing with a mama or mama abandoning the babies and then either killing them or you have to bottle feed them, which I did not want to do. So I was super nervous, but I wanted to move her out. It was a hot day in August. I mean, it's still hot in August, but August 5th was a very hot day, no clouds. So I really was worried that she would get overheated or just too hot. So we moved her, and we moved her with food because she's food motivated. So we took some food, moved her close to our house, and then put the babies in the house, and she ate the food, and then she turned around and ran back to the old one, and I was like, oh shoot, like your babies aren't there anymore. So I had to kind of run back and get a little bit more food and put the food like literally right next to her babies. And then after she ate that, she was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll stay here. And I put a little like door up so that she couldn't leave them for a bit, just to make sure she knew. And thankfully she never like crushed any of them, stepped on any of them badly. I know she stepped on them a little bit once or twice, but maybe that's normal, just to get them a little bit amidst all the delivering and moving around and eating and whatnot, or going out for water. But she's been a great mommy. I'm so thankful. Like I said, so thankful that she was a good mom. She was a first-time mom, so it definitely made me nervous just because you don't know, you know, if they're going to be a good mom or not. But she's great. She lets them nurse, you know, lays down to nurse. She's very protective of them, but not in a bad way, in that like she'll hurt us if they're squealing, because I think I mentioned baby pigs squeal so loud when you go to pick them up, and they're getting to the point where they'll squeal, and then we put them really close to our chest and they calm down for pets for a little bit before we put them down. So they're getting better, but sometimes if, you know, the kids don't hold them super close, so sometimes when my younger kids want to hold them, they'll hold them, but they won't hold them close enough, so they'll still be squealing. And Betty will kind of get all kind of huffy and come over to us and be like, what are you doing with my babies? But she's never been rough or tried to bite anyone or anything like that. But she definitely will come over and be like, hey, what's going on? Like, make sure you're treating my babies okay. So she's a very attentive mom, and she's just been a really great mom, and I'm so very thankful. I'm going to take a little bit of that blue slushy. I'll do blue first, and I'll probably take a little bit of the purple. Yeah, we're gonna bring this down and around. I should focus the camera. need to do that. But anyway, I'm gonna bring this down and around just a touch, and then I think we're pretty much done with the mats here. They're blending really nice. I've always enjoyed the Cosmic Brushes mats. They're really intense. This one is a little bit of a sheerer type of shade, but I think it's also just kind of the color. It's not meant to be like super opaque. Just looking at it in the pan and then swatching it, it's meant to be more of like that highlighter color. So like, it's not super opaque, if that makes sense. I feel like that was a dumb way of saying it, but anyway, I'm just gonna do this, and then I'll go back over. I'm gonna take the green. I really like how that green is looking up here, but I want more intensity, or the zesty, the highlighter. I'm gonna put this down here. So anyway, it's been 3 weeks since we had baby pigs. It's so far going great. Thankfully, no complications. They're growing so fast. They're starting to explore a lot. We've had a couple instances of pigs getting out because we didn't have a piglet fencing, and we don't have permanent fencing. So we finally were able to order that, and that should be coming in today, to put up a little piglet fence so that they can't get through the, we have just regular pig electric fencing for the pasture to kind of break it up so they kind of work at one section at a time. We can move them around. So we got little piglet ones, and that's coming in so they won't escape, but we've had a couple times where, because they're so small, and I don't know if you know, but electric fencing is just basically like, it'll give a little bit of a pulse, and pigs lead and smell and kind of walk with their nose, so if they feel it, they know to leave that alone. And the older pigs, mama and daddy, obviously know, but the little pigs don't know, so oftentimes they move so fast and it doesn't like constantly shock. It's a little pulse every like second or so. But anyway, we've had some times where they just start walking, and because they're so small and the squares are so large, they just kind of like slip right through, and they don't feel anything because on their back their skin's tougher and stuff like that. So they'll be walking around the field, and we'll be having to run back and put them back in. So I'm looking forward to having the fencing up so that they don't wander away too far. Not that, I mean, I feel like at this point they're getting to a nice big size, but part of me is like, we have big hawks around here. I wouldn't want them to get taken, and then we have free range roosters. I wouldn't want a rooster to kind of peck at them, so we like to keep them close to mama, and that way mama's there to protect them and teach them all the ways, teach them all the things that they should or shouldn't do and whatnot. So anyway, let's see. Oh, this is looking really pretty. That's a pretty nice blend. I feel like right here is a little bit, maybe it's not harsh, but it's uneven. Like I feel like I took the blend a little bit higher than this one. And this is just me being nitpicky, but I'm going to take a touch of both the darkest purple and blue, and I'm just going to bring it up a touch because I feel like that'll help it mesh. We can bring it up into here a little bit, kind of like that. Okay, so at this point we can do, oh wait, why did I put that there? Hang on, didn't mean to do that. I just stuck this brush in with the dirty brushes that I have to wash. But I might not be done with it. What am I doing? Katie, what are you doing? Where'd it go? This one. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so yeah, that's our adventures so far with the pigs. I'm gonna go ahead and do the next. I'm trying to finish this up. There's so little left, so we're gonna give this a try. But that's our adventures with the pigs. They're doing great. The kids are so in love with all the baby pigs. It's been fun. And then we have all of our chickens. We hatched some chickens out from the incubator that we bought in February, and they have just started to lay, so that's really exciting. We got a couple different colors. We have one that like lays an olive colored egg because the daddy would, it came from an egg that was like a blue-green, and then the mom came from a brown egg, so combined it. It's like a pretty olive toned egg. Oh, it's so, so beautiful. And then the other one's like lay dark brown or blue or blue-green. I don't know. It's up for debate whether it's green. I even put it on my Instagram one day. It's like, is this egg blue or green? I see green. My kids and my husband see blue. Most of Instagram agreed with me and said they see green, but a good number also said blue, so I think it just depends on the lighting and the day and what you think, but I always see green. But I think technically people mostly refer to them as blue eggs, at least around here in the circles I'm in, so I don't know, that's why I say blue-green, cover both bases. But anyway, they're starting to lay, so that's fun. And then one of our hens went broody, when was it, in June? And so we let her sit on like a dozen eggs or 13 eggs, I forget how many of it, and she hatched out 10 of them, and 9 survived past like the first week, and those 9 are now fully feathered out, getting bigger. The mom has like chased them away, wants nothing to do with them, so we separated them to grow out some more and wait till they get to full size, and then we'll put them in with our other chickens. But they're doing great. I'm curious to see how many boy-girl ratio we'll get. I'm going with sprinkles now. It looks hot pink straight on, but then down here laying on my table, it definitely looks green, so I'm so curious what this will look like. Oh, this looks very chunky. I'm scared. I'm gonna tap it off a little bit, and then I'm going to press instead of swipe at first. Ooh, this looks like a really intense type of shift, where for me, like if I'm gonna do a multi-chrome, I want it to be an obvious shift, and this looks like it definitely is. Very scary with how flaky and chunky it was looking, and then in the pan it looks very flaky and creamy at the same time. I don't know, it's an interesting texture, but oh yeah, I can see the shift just like sitting here. I can see the pink to green. That's very pretty. I'm sure everyone used this, so I probably should have used something else. Everyone probably used this in their videos. I'm sorry, I didn't think about that aspect. But it's so pretty, and I feel like it's gonna be fun with this look. So anyway, I forget what I was talking about, the chickens. So we had babies, and then we had one broody hen that we got probably a month or 2 months ago maybe at this point, but someone in town didn't have a rooster, and she had one of her hens go broody. She's a little bit of a more of a grumpy hen, so she was like, hey, does anyone want a broody hen, because I just don't have time to break her of her broodiness, and I don't want her to hatch out eggs because I don't need any more chickens. So I was like, sure, we'll take another chicken. And so we gave her a bunch of eggs, and she turned out to be a terrible mother. The worst mother we've experienced on the farm so far, because I gave her like 8 or 9 eggs, because I was like, my last hen, which is the first time I've ever had experience with a broody hen, but I gave her like 13 eggs, and she sat on them like a champ, and it was fantastic. I would push her off, she'd go right back on, she was rotating them, all the good things. So she was great. And then when I got this one, I was like, okay, let me give her like 8 or 9, we'll see how many hatch, and you know, if we have any extra, we can find someone who needs them. If not, we'll have a bunch of chickens. And she would not sit on them. Like there would be days I come out and she'd have half of them not underneath her, and I'm like, what are you doing? So I finally went through them and kind of saw which ones were going bad, and I tossed those, and I left her with, I think, 3. Yeah, I left her with 3 because I was like, come on, 3 can fit under you, mama. And she still wasn't sitting on them completely, and she accidentally broke one. Don't know how that happened, but I came out and it was like broken. And then she finally like still wasn't sitting on them, but she did hatch out 1 egg. The other one never hatched, but she has 1 solitary chick that she is raising, and I'm just glad she has that one because she's not broody anymore, thankfully. But she is the most like jumpy mama ever. Like I go to feed her, it doesn't matter how far away I am. When I'm kind of like in the premises, she's like going crazy, like get away from my baby chick, and then I go up to feed her, and I'm super slow. Like I've been trying to work with her to get her more comfortable with me, but she acts like I'm coming to murder her baby, because she just paces to the point where she's like stepping on her own baby because she's so freaked out that I'm there. But I'm like, I gotta feed you, so chill out. But yeah, she's not the best mommy, that is for sure. And I think next time, if hopefully she works out and is able to integrate with the rest of the hens eventually, but if she's too mean, then she's got to go, if she's mean to the other hens. But as long as she can get along with the other hens, if she goes broody again, I will take the time to break her, because oh my goodness, she's just not the greatest mother at all. I have her separated as well in her own little like coop with the 1 baby chicken, because I think she would go ballistic if she was put with any chickens. Whereas my other broody hen, I kept her in the chicken coop for like 2 days, just 2-3 days after her chicks hatched, just to get her, you know, give her some time to recover, give her some time to bond with the babies, and the babies to get a little bit older so they know to follow mommy before I let them out with the other chickens. But then I let them out with the other adult hens and rooster, and they were fine. Like she would, you know, she would go after a hen if they got too close, but she let the rooster come around her babies. The rooster was really gentle. It was great, super easy, amazing. This hen, the other one that hatched out the one, I think she would just go ballistic and like go around and forever like peck at people until she like passed out from exhaustion. Like she's just kind of crazy, like absolutely insane. So I have her separated, and then whenever her baby gets old enough where it's fully feathered, I will either, honestly, I might even just, if it looks like it's a hen, I might just sell it because it'll depend on what size it is. If it's big enough to go with the 9 other ones that are several months older than that one, then I'll probably just put him in with the others. But if he's too small, I don't want him to get picked on. So, I don't know, we'll see what happens, but I gotta figure out a plan for that. But then the mama's gotta go back with the other adult hens, because she be a little crazy with her baby. Okay, so here we are. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Hopefully, I'm almost out of time. I'm gonna have to do some editing on these videos, as much as I don't want to do any editing, but you know, better than spending hours editing. And people were saying like, don't edit. I actually like them better not edited. I'm gonna take Ice Pop. Should I? You know what I'll take? Oh, this is my indecisiveness coming through. I'm gonna take Sweetie. It's like a purple light. I just wanna see what it looks like on the outer edge here. And it's on the brush that has a little bit of that purple, so I just wanna see if it'll give kind of a little bit of a, I don't know, cool look to the blend. I'm gonna have to touch into a little bit of the dark purple charm just to help mesh and blend. These are so pigmented, they take like just a moment of tap in. But anyway, a lot of you said like you prefer it. I enjoy editing. Like, I love editing my YouTube videos a lot. I just find it so fun. I love adding the little zoom in, zoom out to kind of make the content a little bit more interesting to watch. So like when I was, after I uploaded the video that I didn't edit last time, I was going through it and just listening once through it to make sure there wasn't any hiccups, make sure the audio sounded good and all that stuff. And I just I was watching, I was like, I miss, like right there, I would have like zoomed in closer just to make it a little bit funny, or I would have cut out that time when I was taking a breath, or like super loud taking a breath, or smacking my like mouth noises. I don't love mouth noises. Okay, it stopped, but we started it. Hopefully I didn't miss too much, but basically I was just talking about how much I really enjoy editing. I enjoy adding that little aspect of like with the zoom in, zooms out and stuff. I'm going into that blue now just to kind of touch over everything. But so I miss it. So I definitely don't think I'll ever turn into someone who like never edits, because I just find it so enjoyable to edit my YouTube videos. I really enjoy the process of piecing it all together and seeing the finished out, the finished results and all that. But at this present moment, like I kind of said in that video, this helps me actually be able to put out some content, even if, since I'm not able to edit. So I'm trying to be content where I'm at, take what I got, and do what I can with it. Okay, so this is already starting to travel upwards, which is not great. So I'm gonna take the time to fluff this away, and then I'm gonna, it's kind of sticking. Okay, changing plans. Let's see if we can use this to kind of like scratch it off like I would with a mascara. Oh shoot, did I don't know if I zoomed or like I refocused. Hopefully I have not been out of focus. But anyway, that's better. Okay, so it was like sticky. So this must be, oh yeah, it's like that putty type of texture. I just felt it with my finger. It's got a very cool, putty, creamy type of texture. So it doesn't work to sweep it away like I was trying. Good to note. Gonna go back over with a little bit of that shade in case I scraped any of it off. There we go. And then I'm gonna put a little bit more, and then we're going to top it and kind of seal it in to see if that helps at all. But overall, I think this is looking really pretty. Definitely will have to get a good picture to put on the Instagram. Again, I'm not gonna do my mascara on camera just because it's going to take too long, and this video is long enough as it is. I'm trying to keep these videos around the 30-minute mark just so it just makes it better for, I feel like, watching a 45-minute video of someone putting on their makeup. I feel like is a little long. Well, but at the same time, 30 minutes is also long, but I'm trying to make edits. And also with putting on my mascara, I can't talk very well and put on mascara, so I feel like that would just be really boring to watch me like very slowly talk about something. I don't know. As I talk slowly and do this. I don't think I explained this, but I am taking a little bit of a liquid glitter primer, like it's very liquidy because you can't even see it. It is this NBA Cosmetics Glitter Adhesive and Liner Serum. This stuff, I try to link it when I remember, so you can check on the description box to see if I link it. But this stuff, it's just clear liquid, and I'm just tapping it over top till I feel wetness on my lid, basically, so I know it's there. And then I'm going to keep my eyes downward until it fully dries. Every now and then, if I'm not careful, I can kind of pick up the shimmer instead of like seal it in, so I can kind of mess it up, but I usually just kind of go back over with a little bit more, tap it on, and we're good to go. But anyway, this is a trick I do because I often find that it helps prevent the shimmers from going up, or if it doesn't totally prevent, it at least keeps it from going up into my crease as badly or like disappearing completely. So with this already starting to go up just with me doing my makeup, I feel like it was a necessary step for sure. Let me put on a little bit more of my lipstick, and then we'll do my inner corner because I want to keep my eyes closed for a minute while this dries. But anyway, I'm kind of all over the place at the moment. That's another thing I feel like might be kind of a headache to listen to. We're gonna go into Delicious. Yeah, Delicious for my inner corner. But I feel like I kind of jump all over the place, and there's been many times when I'm doing my videos, and I'll, especially if I'm like focusing on the eye that I tend to cut out anyway, but I'll go on like a rabbit trail, or I'll just be jumping all over the place and not finishing a sentence, and I'll cut it out. And not editing my videos, I can't really do that. So I feel like in the video the other day, there was one or two things I was talking about, and I just like dropped it because I was like, oh, focusing back on the palette, talking about it, and I never went back to it, or I just got sidetracked and just never went back to it. So I don't know if that's annoying to listen to, like as far as not finishing my thoughts or sentences. You'll have to let me know. But that's definitely something where I appreciated being able to edit, because I was like, hey, you know, that was kind of like a story you started, never finished, and you're doing your other eye, so that doesn't really make sense, so I would just cut that whole thing out. But here, not so much. You know what, I'm gonna clean this off, and I want to take a little bit of that purple. I'm probably gonna put a wing liner on. Who am I saying? I was thinking I could just kind of wing it. No, I'm gonna do wing liner, so with this look, you gotta do a wing. Like, it's so intense. I feel like it just needs one of my type of black wings. So that's gonna be where I wrap it up for the video though, because again, see the last video of me trying to do wing liner while talking and trying not to take too much time. It was rough. But this is where we're gonna end for this video, and kind of like I did for the last video when I didn't do any edits. I can't include any pictures in here, but that night I posted a close-up video, or a close-up picture of the final eye look, like with mascara, and in this case it'll be liner. All of that I posted on my Instagram. So I'm Lady Katie 92 over there if you want to see how this looks with a picture. With my pictures, I don't do any editing with those. I will usually correct it with lighting, because I feel like a lot of times when I take pictures, it washes my skin out. So usually when I post on Instagram, I will take the saturation and do a little bit more saturation, and then take down the warmth a bit so that it looks more like the color but not turning me orange, if that makes sense. I don't know. Those are the only two things I tweak, and then a little bit of the what do you call? What is that thing when it gets a little bit more crisp? Because sometimes it's a little bit blurry when I kind of crop it close on Instagram, and I want it to be crisp. What is that word? It's not crisp. I'm cooking over here. Oh gosh, whatever. But you know, takes it from a little bit blurry to a little bit more crisp. Those are the three things that I play around with on my Instagram, but besides that, I don't do any editing and no airbrushing, no nothing. So it's pretty accurate to what you would see here if I posted a video. If I posted a picture, like a final look picture or video, like I usually do if I did it. But since I'm not editing this video, I won't have it in here, so it'll be over on my Instagram. Very long-winded way of saying that, but that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I really enjoyed playing with this palette. I didn't really give it much of a review because I don't really feel like you need it, because I feel like everyone's already reviewed this. I'm going to focus it real quick, sorry. But overall, I really like the mattes. There's a couple in here that I feel like are a little bit sheer-ish, but again, I think they're just meant to be more of that highlighter-esqueness instead of like intense saturation. So I don't mind it at all. And then the shimmers, I really can't say much because I haven't played with them or played with them enough. This is my first time trying the multi-chrome for sure, and I can say I like the multi-chrome. Let me see if I can show you. I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious, but really quick. Let me see if I can show a good, this is what I use. I feel like you can see that. I will definitely get close-up pictures of this. Oh, it's such a beautiful green. I love it how it goes with the green on the inner corner. So pretty. So it's very pretty. It'll be a huge test for me to see how this lasts now that I did that extra step to seal it in. If it lasts decently, then I really like this multi-chrome. If the multi-chrome kind of creases or disappears, I won't be the biggest fan of the multi-chrome, even though it is beautiful, but that's something I'll try to include in the picture. I can do that. So when I post the picture, I'll try to like make a note there on Instagram whether it held up nicely or not. So overall though, I can't say I like the mattes, and I'll keep trying it and playing around and see how I like the shimmers. But with that said, that is going to do it for me. Thank you so very much for watching, and follow me over on Instagram if you want to see a close-up of this picture. And if you want to see more of my animals, I share a little bit on my stories on Instagram, but I post a lot on my stories and in just like regular reels and pictures on the Makeup Homesteader, which is like my animal Instagram page that I started, just so I don't put too much over on the Lady Katie 92 Instagram page. So with that said, that's gonna do it for me. I'll see you guys very soon in my next video, whenever that is. Bye guys.